Hi, everybody. Matt Carpenter, College Aid Pro. Got some very exciting subject matter for you today, and that is the Data Retrieval Tool, or the DRT. What is it? Should we use it? What are the pros and cons? That's what I want to get into for just a few minutes here. Now, the Data Retrieval Tool is something that's within the FAFSA, so the free application for federal student aid, this application that just about all of us need to complete, should complete in order to throw our hat in the ring for financial aided scholarships at just about every college in the United States. Now, this tool or this part of the FAFSA is a few years old, and the idea is that when they're asking for your income on this application, they want you to actually jump out of the FAFSA, jump out of the Department of Education's website, and go into the IRS's website and upload your tax information, assuming that you filed taxes, from the IRS website directly into the FAFSA. So we momentarily leave the FAFSA application, and if we file tax returns as the parent or parents or as the students, we can theoretically pull in that tax information automatically, and that will populate into the FAFSA, and then we go ahead and submit our FAFSA off to the colleges, and they have our verified tax information from the IRS. Now, a couple things to talk about here. Number one, it doesn't always work. It's pretty consistent. So long as we have the exact spelling of our name, the exact spelling of our address, and we've filed joint tax returns or head of household tax returns, it should pull in the information. It usually does. But sometimes, for whatever reason, technology is not perfect. It doesn't work. So for some of us, even with best efforts and perfect execution, it's not going to work. If we are in the middle of a separation and we are married filing separately, it's very unlikely to work. We have to expect that we will not be able to pull in our tax information if we fall into that umbrella in any given tax filing year here, or if we're going through a transition like that. So that would be a case where it does not work. Now, what are the pros and the cons of using it? Because it is a choice. This is not something that you are required to use. The pros of using it is, number one, it'll pre-populate our tax information for us. So there's some efficiencies there, right? It'll pull that in for us. The probably bigger advantage is that when it comes directly from the IRS, that is verified. So these colleges are less likely to ask you for verifying documents. Now, some colleges ask everybody for verifying documents, so we still may have to go through the process, but we are less likely to get asked for additional federal tax information, specifically tax transcripts, if we successfully use this data retrieval tool, the DRT. What are some of the disadvantages? Okay, some of the disadvantages of using this is that we don't see what information gets pulled in. Okay, so we just have to kind of trust that whatever information got pulled in from the IRS is in fact accurate. This can get especially complex if we've had a rollover in the tax year in question here, and it makes it a little bit harder to make sure that we handle that piece correctly, which that is a different coaching point altogether. But that's an example of where there's a little bit of discomfort for some people where they can't see exactly what got pulled in to verify that, yes, that was my adjusted gross income and my federal income tax paid in that tax year. And that correlates with essentially the expected family contribution that was the end result of my FAFSA after it got submitted. So for a lot of folks, and one of my colleagues, Peg Keogh, she's not a huge fan of using the data retrieval tool because she likes to see manually input the information so she can see this is correct. I know this is correct because I put it in. So I'm not saying that there's a right or a wrong here, but those are kind of two different points of view. And I tend to be in the camp for most people of using the DRT if you can, right? If it does work successfully, because I know that I'm less likely to get chosen for verification, right? And I just think it takes a little bit of pain out of the process. There's nothing wrong with getting chosen for verification. Like I said, in some cases and at some colleges, everyone will get chosen for verification, but it's maybe a step in the process that we can skip. It maximizes our odds of doing that if we use the DRT successfully. Now, if we choose not to, or it just doesn't work. We tried to do it and it doesn't work for us or for our family, I recommend that you order a tax transcript from the IRS. It's free to download. It doesn't cost you anything, but most of these colleges, if you don't use the DRT or you don't use it successfully, they're going to ask you for a tax transcript to verify what you've put onto the FAFSA. So go ahead and save yourself some time and get ahead of it. Order your tax transcript if your DRT doesn't work, or you choose not to use it, and then you'll be ready when you very likely get that request from these colleges. So not the most exciting subject matter, but it's something that I think is important to understand. And there are pros, there are cons to using it. Not really a right or wrong, it's more of a preference, but we just want to make sure that you understand what your options are. Thanks.